Well, good afternoon, Judith. How are you doing today?
I am doing really well today, thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm enjoying some sunshine where we are, even though it's still coming out of spring, coming
Yeah,
into spring, yeah,
yep.
out of
It's
winter into
it's
spring. It's cold.
chilly and cold, but clear here too. It's glorious.
Yes, that's what we like doing on a podcast, having a chat. We like to look at a particular holistic health well-being area and bring some clarity to it, make it clear. So today we're chatting with Judith here. She's a multi-award winning person who has not just is not just a voice coach, but she's also a sound healer. She's a holistic practitioner and understands the profound connection between voice and the self. Judith's unique approach to working with and through the voice transcends traditional methods. In 2011, her personal experience with the deep power of vocal sound healing laid the foundation for her transition. Her passion for holistic well-being led her to get a professional coaching qualification and embrace various different modalities, including energetic and intuitive practices. She loves nothing more than the transformation that comes with liberating voices to liberate and elevate lives. So, Judith, it's great to have you chatting to us today, and we look forward to learning a bit more about vocal coaching, the voice, ourselves, and how we can grow and expand and elevate our lives.
I can't wait. Heads up, big warning. I can and literally do talk about this for days. I have a 7-day vocal sound healing retreat, so you might have to rein me in and get me back on track. But I will try and
A
keep
seven
things.
days, so a full week. Quite often people
Yeah.
talk about a week long and they do just sort of the Monday to Friday, but a full
No.
week, that's fabulous. Wonderful. What sort of experience would someone have if they went on that? If I came on a full week long thing, what's going to be going on for that entire time?
Oh, it's beautiful, deep vocal sound healing, and we'll get into why vocal sound healing uh, later, I'm sure. The experience is, in brief, deep self awareness
Okay.
to recognize and, most importantly, release the subconscious patterns and emotions that we're holding on to in our cell memory. And by sounding the different chakras, so it's 7 sounds, 7 days, 7 chakras, maximum of
Okay.
7 people. And by sounding the different energies that we're holding in those energy centers or chakras, whatever word works for you,
Mm-hmm.
we sound out what we're holding on to, very often subconsciously. So the first thing is recognize, because we can't release the things we don't know we're holding. And the voice is the most amazing tool, because you can't lie through the voice. If you are, I did it just yesterday. I have an online membership. And in our
Okay.
sounding session yesterday evening, our intention for the month, we have a theme every different month. And the theme of the month was preparing for action. And as I was sounding, I was asking myself the question, am I prepared to? And then I would put something specific on the end of that. So, for example, one of the questions was, am I prepared to split my business into 2 parts? Because I have the vocal
Okay.
confidence and I have the vocal sound healing. It's something I'm contemplating. So, as I was sounding, I was thinking, am I prepared to split the business into 2 parts? And my voice was like, you're just sounding the hum or a gentle ha, and my voice croaked and my throat went tight, and that's my body going, no, you're not ready to do that. So then I was asking the mental question, am I prepared to have an umbrella with 2 clear defined parts? And the
Okay.
voice was open and flowed, because your body will react to your subconscious, really true beliefs and what you actually are prepared
Right.
for, rather than your logical brain. So the vocal
Hmm.
sounding works on that subconscious stuff that we're holding. And then when we've cleared that out, so we sound out the gunk, as I like to refer to it, we then have made space, because we've recognized and released what we've been holding on to sound in the glory. So sounding in the energy of what you would love, the energy you would like to be reflecting. Because your voice is a reflection of every experience or emotion you have ever had, witnessed, or imagined. And your voice is also a reflection of every thought and feeling you are having about yourself, maybe about the situation you are in, or the people you are with. So 7 days of sound healing gives you deep self-awareness, release the gunk, receive the glory, and then the tangible outcomes of that are people make life choices that I've had people heal relationships, leave relationships, start entire new parts of their business, go for a promotion they didn't know that they were ready for, have the confidence to ask for what they want, had someone get complete clarity on the book she wanted to write, because you are in your true alignment with yourself and you're finding not just your physical vocal ability to speak, but also you're really listening to your inner voice.
Okay, right. That's interesting. It's useful to have that sort of picture of what it looks like, because I've heard sound, I've experienced it a little bit, but not really experienced that process people go through of doing a sound healing. So having that sort of story and that picture of, okay, this is what it's trying to do, this is how it's making you feel, how it's connecting you, letting you connect with yourself and actually be honest with yourself about, this is where I'm up to, this is how I feel about something. Making it a life choice or a change, like I know I should do it, but am I actually ready for it yet?
Yeah.
And grappling with those two very real, very true, very appropriate feelings of desire for the new and reluctance to leave the safety of the known.
Mm-hmm.
Letting that come together and say, okay, can we settle down to, okay, now or not yet, or
how
next month, or how? Yes, what does starting a whole new relationship and deciding I'm going to marry this person and live with them for the rest of my life. Okay, I'm happy to get there, but how do I get there from where I am now?
Yeah.
Getting comfortable with the idea of, okay, being a friend with them on a one-to-one basis rather than just as part of the friendship group. It's a stage, it's a process. Knowing that end goal doesn't mean you know the road to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is the premise of all coaching, really. I mean, any coaching, no matter what it is
Yes.
acknowledging where you are now and being truthful and honest and going, actually, where are you really? And when I say anything like that, I mean in a holistic way. So where are you mentally, physically, energetically, emotionally, and if you wish to include it, spiritually? So where are you really in this process is always the first thing.
Absolutely.
Where do you want to get to really? Do you really want that? Or are you, and I wrote a whole book about this, are you shoulding it? Are you going, well, I want to be there, I want to be... Do you really want to be there? Or do you want to be there because you think that's where society, life expects you to be?
Yes.
So figuring out what you want, really. Figuring out where you are, really. And then it's the discovery of the next path for you. And that's all coaching.
Yes. That's it, yeah. Starting position, ending position, targeted ending, finish line, whatever that might look like. Whether that's one of the previous chats we had with a lady was talking about what it feels like. What does success feel like, rather than £100,000 or whatever it is. A set number finish line might feel good when you look at it from afar. When you get there, it might just feel like a number.
Yeah.
What feeling do you want to have when you get there? That's going to define the finish line, the goal, the position, because it's not a single moment that you cross the finich line. It's a phase of
you never cross the finish line. not until that last breath, anyway. And then that's not, it's only the finish line of this life. Whatever happens in the next, who knows?
Yeah. That's it. Whether you're a Christian, a Buddhist, or whoever, you might have a belief about what happens next. So I would believe that there's a God and that he created the world and therefore there is something next. Exactly what that looks like, I don't know. If I go and come back, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
but
exactly right.
In the meantime, we've got this life. We've got how many days, weeks, months, years ahead of us to take action. And unless you say, okay, this is where I am now, and be honest about what I want, the direction I want to go in, the sort of path I might want to go, the sort of places I might want to have travelled on that path of life.
Yeah.
Unless you can be honest about that, you're not going to take any steps to start going there. You can't climb Everest and start until you go into, well, either India or Nepal.
Yes.
And you definitely can't do either of those if you're not willing to even enter Asia.
Yes. Or get on an aeroplane or whatever it might be. So, yeah, so the vocal sounding is a really amazing tool to have a deeper awareness about what's going on in your subconscious, as well as then when you recognise what the blocks are, very often in any holistic practice, we know we're dealing with younger self challenges, whatever they may be, whether that was a child version of you or you 3 weeks ago, right? Because someone turned around and made a comment about something you said, and now you're carrying that comment in you. Sounding gives you a way.
More than that.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you a way of releasing it without having to speak about it if you don't want to. So without having the verbal. And it's interesting. I was working with a woman who is, oh my gosh, there's hardly anything she hasn't done. You know, all the psychological. Psychotherapy roots. She's a qualified psychotherapist. She works in the army with PTSD and trauma, and we were having a conversation because she did her doctorate in a study that she realized that talking therapies alone will never be enough. You have to work on releasing from the cell memory as well. So she and I were in discussions about using the vocal sounding as an extra tool it was a couple of years ago, and obviously things have changed in the world. It was when things were kicking off in Ukraine, and she's like, I've got this plan, and we're going to work alongside NATO and going to help people release the trauma, but not, you have to be ready for the talking therapy, and you need to get it out of your, like, talking therapy, yes, really useful, and not on its own. You have to get it out of the cell too. So very often people that, there'll be big releases of the stuff that you don't know you're carrying. And very often it's not the big traumas, because people who've been through big trauma know they have, and they've often done a lot of different treatments and therapies for it. It's very often the internalized, our normals, and maybe some of the other beliefs or experiences that we're still holding on to. So it's a way of sounding it out.
Watch you. I'd be interested if you could go a little bit more into what precisely we mean by cell memory, because we all know the feeling of, oh, I'm going to have to stand up and speak in front of a group, and that knot in your stomach. We've all felt that.
Yep, even me.
Yep. Try and go and speak to the pretty girl, and something just gets tight. But you're not speaking about tummy or stomach clenching or something. You're talking about cell. So why that?
Oh, so the stomach clenching. Your stomach is made of cells. So that is cell memory in action. The racing of the heart rate. Your cells are reacting to the brain stimuli, so or the brain is reacting to the cell. You never quite know which is feeling first, right? You walk into a situation, your body goes, I remember this, and your cells automatically send a message to your brain going, not safe, there's 15 people staring at me, I think they're waiting for me to speak. Or when I was 7 and playing Mary in the school nativity play and I dropped the baby Jesus and everyone laughed, this is that. No. Yeah. So that's what I mean by cell memory. It's every single one of our cells holds the memory of safe, of dangerous, of love, of joy, of uncertainty. And so when we are in a situation, our body and brain will react before they respond. So that's what I mean by sound
Ooh.
memory.
They'll react before they respond. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it is a gut reaction rather than a mental
Logical
response.
response.
You don't think through. I'm going to just walk in front of these people, and then I'm going to start to feel nervous. It
Yeah.
just happens.
And then
Interesting.
you've done it once, and then what happens is the mental does come first, because for people who don't like speaking in front of audiences, which is a vocal confidence specialist I work with a lot, and it's
Mm.
not just public speaking, by the way. This, like you said earlier, it could be there's a person I find attractive. Oh my goodness, can I go and talk to them? It might
Yes.
be having that challenging conversation with a family member who you're just like, I
Hmm.
can't deal with this any longer. Or with a team member if you're someone who's employed, or
Hmm.
whatever it might be, that
Yep.
challenging conversation.
Hmm.
Um, but it's happened once or twice, and then the challenge is we do overthink it, and it comes from the brain first. And then we start
Yes.
to believe, oh God, that's this situation. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be. So we overthink it before it happens, and
Yes.
put it even more into our cell memories, so that we're in tension. And remembering that your voice is a reflection of every thought or feeling you are having about yourself, the situation, or the people you're with, as well as a reflection of your experiences and emotions from the past.
Right.
Your voice is a reflection of that, because what it's really a reflection of is the level of tension in your
Mm.
throat, in your vocal folds, in your breath system, by which I mean because blood cells can contract and expand as well.
Of course.
So
Yes.
it's how much tension is in your whole system. And when there is tension, and our poor little vocal folds, they're only as big as your little fingernail, right? And they do a lot
Wow.
of work. So if you put a little bit of
Yeah.
tension in there, as soon as there's tension, the voice will go up in tone, or it'll sit here in the head. And then because there's tension in the body, we're not breathing properly. And so then we feel like we're running out of breath. And so then we've got to get to the end of the sentence, and we start speaking faster than we actually need to. And we go, yeah, okay, I'm just going to stand here and get it over and done with. And thank you very much. Good night. Bye.
Oh, it's so true. Oh.
So being conscious about that and allowing ourselves to go, actually, what do I need to do to put myself in a state where, for example, with a speaking situation, where I can speak rationally, where I can respond, where I can hold space, where I can take up space, where I allow
Mm.
myself to be seen and heard, where I
Yeah.
allow my thoughts, ideas, feelings, opinions to have value. What work needs to happen there? And that's where I combine the coaching, vocal confidence, my expertise as a classically trained professional actress, um, and the vocal sound healing. So it's a combination of all those modalities that comes together to help people both find their true voice and the confidence and clarity to be able to use it in any situation.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Because there are so many parts. We're not just a single thing, a human being. We are all of our past, all of our memories, all of our experiences. We're all of our individual parts put together. So unless you take care of all of the pieces, you can't care for the entire being. Whether you
Which,
believe that there's a soul part or it's just the physical, whatever you think
yeah,
about that, there are parts to it. Just like with the car, there are bits that need oil, there are bits that definitely don't need oil. But
yeah,
unless you take care of all those parts individually, you're not going to have a functional item.
no. And that's why my company is Your Whole Voice, because the
Mm,
whole is about your whole-ness. It's, and
right.
the real depth of the work I do is identity work. So it's allowing
Got
yourself
you.
to it's letting go of old labels, old roles, ways or beliefs of who do you have to be to fit in, and standing in the identity of the wholeness of you, which means accepting the parts of you that maybe you don't like or you think other people don't like. So for me, for example, I am incredibly impatient. I am kind of judgmental, as the guy fishing on the pier in Berwick upon Tweed at the weekend. I'm sorry, Crocs and socks is no. I mean, Crocs anyway, I'm super judgmental about, but right. So, but embracing, I know I'm that. And when you embrace your wholeness and you're not trying to hide things, when I started my business, I hid my spiritual self. I hid the vocal sound healing bits because I thought, oh, people aren't going to understand. You've got to remember this is 2011. So haven't just jumped on the sound healing bandwagon. And when I started my business, I said, oh, well, it's for vocal confidence, it's for public speaking, and I won't talk about the sound healing because people will think it's hippie woo, fluffy, wafty nonsense. So I used to hide it. And then you've got all that energy that you're spending hiding. The miracle happened when I started speaking about vocal sound healing and not hiding it. Then there was no energy hiding. So I'd put it into the room. So when I spoke at an asset management company in St. Paul's, you had to go through number 1 St. Paul's into the stock exchange. You had to take your passport to get into the building. And I was fairly early on in my career in this work. And must have been 2011, 2012. And I had all of the symptoms. I had the tight chest, the tight belly, I had the nerves, I had the shaky hand, so I was using all my tools and techniques. Using all my tools and techniques to get rid of them before I walked into the building. And in that room, I spoke to them. I said, so this is about this and this, and a little bit about me, background as an actress, vocal confidence coach, and I am also a vocal sound healer. Don't worry, I'm not going to be wafting you with sage. That's for my weekend stuff when I'm running vocal sound baths. Except I didn't call them sound baths then because that phrase hadn't really been coined. But by putting it into the room, I wasn't hiding. I wasn't wasting any money or any energy, rather. Energy is money, same thing. I wasn't wasting any energy by trying to hide any part of who I was to these people who I'm like, oh, they work in the stock exchange. And allowing my humanity to connect with their humanity and going, there is this part of me. We're not focusing on that part of me today, but I'm also not hiding it from you. Yeah. And it's magic. So that's the element of wholeness. When we accept the whole of who we are, and get rid of the labels of who we're not anymore, and get rid of those expectations of who we think other people expect or want us to be, and we stand in our identity of the whole of who we are now, with the possibility that that is going to change in the future too as we grow into who we are going to be, then there's no tension in the voice, and then the voice can sit where you want it to. And that's the wholeness. So the big identity question, especially in challenging situations or when we are in an emotionally tense situation, very often is, who am I? Who am I to go up to that person I fancy and say hello? Who am I to run a workshop at the Bank of England, which I did a couple of years ago? Right? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And those who am I thoughts, the questioning, who am I to do this, then puts tension in the body, because we look at actually what that question is asking is, who am I negatively? So if you just change that question, right, do the identity work, embrace the whole of who you gorgeously are now, the version of you now, not younger you, not you 3 weeks ago, not you 30 years ago. And that is, who am I? Who am I? What do I know that means I am the right person to be here? What skills do I have? What qualities do I have that mean I am exactly the right person to be here? So it's who am I is a much more powerful question when you start questioning, who am I? Change the emphasis.
Wow. Yes. Just reminds me of that phrase from the Bible where God says, I am that I am. The emphasis on the am, because it's in the sentence twice. We can't hear his voice right now, but you can see he decided to put the sentence that way round with am. I am that I am. Just he is the one who just is by identity. And being a human, part of our humanity is just our identity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge thing, because we can only do because we are. We can only be a certain way because we are. We exist. I am an individual. That's powerful rephrasing and repositioning and understanding of just, talking about and positioning who you are yourself so that you can step into whatever position, whatever location, whatever opportunity, whatever moment, whatever path, because it's you that's stepping into it. And if you know who that person is, you can see the way through as that individual, as that person, as that identity.
And allowing that that I am as a human to change through your life. You know, there are people there are people who I know who, I've got a very dear friend who said, oh yeah, but it's just who I am. So, it's not who you have to be though. Like, we don't have to be. If I was just, oh, it's just who I am, I used to have so much rage in me. If I just went, well, that's just who I am, I would never have got to where I am now. It's so it's allowing our identity to be a flexible, ever-growing thing, and especially in a spiritual context, my philosophy about spirituality is that spirituality is the tools and techniques that we use that help us to live this human life as close as possible to the pure essence of our soul, spirit, energy that we were born as, that purity of that energy, whether you believe in God, universe, soul, whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah.
If you believe in an ability to let go of the human gunk that we all collect through our lives from various circumstances, then if we have a way of connecting to that, I refer to it as higher self, but refer to it as whatever you wish.
Okay.
Spirit, essence, pure source, self. If we have tools that help us live this human life as close as possible to that, then of course our identity is always going to shift, because we're letting go of the gunk, we're letting go of the old labels that no longer fit, of other people's expectations that were put upon us, so that we can become the most pure, clear version of us possible in this moment, in this human lifetime. And that's where the sounding is a beautiful tool to help us be in the energy that we choose, rather than in the emotions that we hold. And that allows us that ability to not get stuck in, well, this is who I am. Well, it's just who I am. It's just who I am. I'm nasty because it's just who I am. It's like, does it have to be? Or I am powerless because I'm meek, and that's just who I am. Well, I'm a meek, quiet person, so that means I'm powerless. No, not at all. It's what we choose in our higher energy self. And the sounding is an amazing way to then create that energy too. So we can release the gunky stuff. So let me give an example, if I might. So, and anyone listening can do this too. If you've got something, and I don't know where you are mentally at the moment, so choose something that's just a niggle or an irritation. Don't go to your dark place. I know what it's like to be in the dark place. And if you just feel into just maybe a niggle or an annoyance, it might be the washing up that's sat in the bowl that you haven't done yet, or the traffic that ran late this morning. And if you feel into that, and if you feel how, when you think about it, you feel where the tension is. So if I think about something that I've got outstanding at the moment, it's, oh, there it is. Straight away I get a little tension in the bottom of my throat. I feel tension in sort of my chest area. And then if you feel into like, what, if that tension made a sound, what kind of a sound would it make? And for me, the thing I'm thinking about is like, oh, Right, and then just allow yourself to make the sound so your body isn't holding on to it anymore. So you keep sounding it. Until actually I start taking deeper breaths. And then actually it's like, oh, okay, I've let that out. Right, it was only a little niggle, so it didn't take long to go. Whew. So now I feel like, oh, I've got space here. I'm breathing deeper. So now if I think about maybe how it will feel, let's go to your analogy of the journey. Like, so how it feels when it's done, when it's finished, when we've reached that goal. So actually when I've done that thing, when I've finished that thing, I'll tell you what the thing is I'm thinking about because you know it. It's the vocal sound healing training course that I want to create, and I haven't quite finished it yet. So how will I feel when I finally got that course completed and I'm putting it out to the world and letting people know that if they want to train in it, they can train with me? How will that feel? Oh, I can feel the expansion in my chest. I can feel myself sitting taller. I can feel like my aura, my energy is expanded. And the sound for that would be something along the lines of... Oh, there it is. Oh, I could go on doing that for ages. But that's just put me in a completely different energetic state. So if I were to now, after this call, very annoyingly, I've got to leave the house and go out for a meeting. I'm now in the energy of, actually, if I now went and did that job, if I sat down with my course outline, I would be doing it in this energy of, oh my goodness, this is how it's going to feel when it's done. I'm in the vibration of it. I've cleared the gunky stuff, and I'm now much closer to my higher self version who's going to create this thing to go forward.
Wow.
So that's just a little example of how this can be used as a really practical tool.
Yeah.
To help us approach anything from as mundane as getting the washing up done to as deep as, healing whatever deep wounds we're still holding on to.
Of course. Wow. Well, there you go, everyone. That's a practical process and a practical tip that you can just try out. You know exactly what the annoyance noise is, and you might be surprised at what the joy noise is when you find that joy of, oh, that's what it will be like once we cross that barrier. Step over the fence, get onto the right side of the task that needs done.
And the joy is everyone's sound is different. Right? Yes. So someone else's joy sound might be a really simple hum. It might be a sigh. It could be
I think a sigh would be mine, yes.
Yeah, there you go. It could be an explosion of laughter. And, the frustration sounds are always different too. I have a whole process that I do, which I actually have worked with a research fellow at King's College.
Okay.
And we did some research for chronic physical pain and working with chronic physical pain reduction through the sounding process, which I think had an average, if I remember off the top of my head, of 72% pain reduction. Just from a 15-minute sounding. And it was always more effective when we connected the emotional pain that went alongside the physical pain.
Interesting. Of course.
Like I said, I could talk about this stuff for days.
And it's so interesting, I'm sure we could all listen. Perhaps we'll have to have you on again sometime. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Judith. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely great to speak with you and to hear about all that you're doing, all the different aspects of it. Maybe next time we could focus in on a couple more different ones and see how those work into the entire holistic process of helping us find our real selves, who we are, so that in that identity we can go forward into who we want to be and who we aim to be in the future.
Oh, yes. And if anyone wants to find me in the meantime, I am yourwholevoice.com is my website. And most of my socials are at yourwholevoice, so on Meta. Or if you really like the vocal sound healing, on Instagram I do have vocal_sound healing as well.
Ah, perfect. Well, we'll have links for those in all the appropriate places. And we look forward to you being able to connect with people and people connect with you. And we look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Thank you. And just one thing, a gift for everyone is there is a a free sample online course. So if you want to
Wonderful.
go to that, there's one for the sound healing, a 15-minute one for the vocal confidence, and a 30-minute one for the vocal sound healing. So maybe if I send you those links, Andrew, and you can put them with
Absolutely.
it, so that people can go to that and try it for free for themselves.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You take care, and we'll speak again soon.
Take care.
Bye now.